Hey guys, Deansy here, back with another video, and today I have something really special that I know a lot of you have been wanting to check out. It's been 25 years since the last generation of a Honda Prelude has been dropped by Honda. The last time that this car came out with a new model, the iPod was coming out, 2001. But today, in 2026, we're here with the 6th generation, all new Honda Prelude. And this marks the return of a historic nameplate. Honda is positioning this car as a sporty car sitting between mainstream cars and dedicated sports cars. So in this video, I have just 3 questions I want to ask. Firstly, is it worth the hype? Is it worth the dealer markups that everybody seems to be adding to these cars? 2, does it feel like a Prelude? Does it really give you that nostalgia factor? Or is this just a brand new car with an old name? And 3, what did they get right and what did they miss? So let's go around, take a look at the Honda Prelude and see if it's right for you sitting in your garage or driveway. Let's go. Hey guys, before we get into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to Culver City Honda, one of the best Honda dealerships I have ever dealt with in my life. And let me tell you something. I'm not just saying this. I'm an actual customer. Here's the car we're reviewing, and here's the car I got from them. So I'm not just a fan, but I'm a customer, and I definitely will be a repeat customer. Not only is the dealership fantastic, tons of inventory, but they have such a huge service center. I came here for my oil change. They knocked it out of the park. They actually sent me a link that had a video of it where the tech went over everything, showed me my engine, went over what everything was, what he saw, what he didn't see, what was fixed, and what they improved on, liquids and tightening and all that. So I would recommend, if you are in the Southern California area, come to Culver City Honda. They are nothing but the nicest salespeople. I only deal with dealerships that have good people, and this is absolutely that dealership. Culver City Honda, come on down. If you're looking for your Honda, if you're looking for the Prelude, this is the place to get it. But hurry up, because that one's going fast. Let's go. All right, guys, so here we are with the front of the car. We're going to start off with the front of the car. I want to show you how beautiful this looks. First off, that bright popping, I don't know if the video's doing it justice, but that blue, Honda calls it Boost Blue. Or is it Boost Blue Pearl? I think there's some pearl, but it's Boost Blue. Now, funny enough, this is the color you're seeing everywhere online. This is not a base color. Costs an additional $455 on top of the sticker MSRP. For me, it's worth it. This is the color, especially with all the black accents, and you're gonna notice them a lot. Here you have the front grille, which, by the way, that's the front grille. This car is 5 inches wider than the previous generation Prelude. You have black accents to match. These are functional airflow. Okay, you have the honeycomb grille down here at the bottom. You have daytime running lamps, LED, headlights, LED, and you have this hood flat across the top, but then you have these scooping lines going up towards the A-pillar. Really, it's sexy. It's gorgeous. I mean, the Honda designers, they know what they're doing, and I do think it's beautiful. Down here, you're going to notice, what's that? There's a little touch of blue accent. From what I've gathered, that's to let you know that this is indeed a hybrid. This is using their direct drive hybrid system that Honda has been getting really famous for. I have a CR-V hybrid, and it is smooth and it's amazing. This is more tuned for sports driving, but that is to let you know that this is a hybrid system. With the black fascia down here at the bottom, again, active scoops, real, and then you have some active air lines here pushing air towards the wheels and cooling them. Great design, great body work. So far, I'm digging it. All right, guys, so we're here now with the tires. And I have to say, tires mean everything on a car. They're going to make or break the look. the aesthetic, and Honda really hit the nail on the head with this one. You're talking 19-inch black alloy wheels, beautifully painted. They're sitting on 235 Continental tires, really nice wide base. And here's what you notice right here. You have Honda branded and, well, Prelude branded, but Brembo brand brakes. 4 piston calipers right there, painted in that beautiful blue to match. Now, here's the cool thing. Well, maybe not cool thing, but a fact. The rear tires, while the calipers are painted blue as well, they are not Brembo branded. They are just standard calipers. Up here is where you're going to get all that stopping power from these additional heavy-duty Brembo brakes. So, now that we've seen the tires, let me show you the rest of the side of this car. Alright guys, so now let me show you the side here. The Boost Blue color continues to dominate here on the car. You have it right here on your rear view side mirrors, Boost Blue with some black accents. You do have your LED turn light here. The sloping here, the curves here are very nice because you have active airflow there. So I'm assuming that that's going to help for air cooling coming in through the front on that side slope right there, hitting the wheels coming through, and also really helping with the miles per gallon. The curves here come down. You have this nice sharp line here, and you have this black fascia down here at the bottom, this black sill. Very nice touch. The black is not overdone. It's not too glossy. It's a little glossy black, but honestly, I think it's okay. You have some matte black here matching on the top. And then the dealer has added on some extra options like these rain guards right here as well. Now, I have the keys in my hand because I want to show you. You have the flush mounted door handles. So there you go, unlock it again. Let me see, you pop it and there it goes, just like that. Now, I know some people don't like those. Colder weather, there's some issues with icing, getting stuck. But you know what? This car is located right here in Culver City, Southern California, where it's 75 degrees right now in January. This is meant for mountain driving. This is meant for canyon carving. I don't think whoever buys this one's going to worry too much about those issues. So let me continue to show you the rest of the side here. You have this nice, beautiful sloping hood. It's not the best for any backseat passengers, but I don't think you're buying this for fitting a ton of people in. This is for you and maybe a partner to have some fun in. But I can tell you that at 6 foot, I'm not 6 foot, but people who are 6 foot, you're going to have no problems here. I'm 5'7", I have no problems here. Getting in the back might be a different story, but it does add to this nice sloping line. The quarter panel here flares out from the door a little bit, wrapping over the rear tires. Very, very nice. And the actual back glass. I'm going to show you that in a second, but it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So overall, side profile, very nice. Front, side, so far, so good. Let's take a look at the back. All right, guys, so we're here now on the back side of this Honda Prelude. I know you're noticing the wing. Just understand that this does not come factory or stock. This is an add-on that the dealer has opted for. And I have to say, this looks really nice. I believe this comes from Honda, but again, it's an add-on. And I'm glad this has it because all the Preludes I've seen online so far don't have it. Without it, it still looks great. But this is a very subtle touch. It's not bolsterous, it's not braggadocious, it's just very subtle, and it does look like it's meant to be there. So if you can find it with this wing, this nice black accented wing matching with the blue, get it. It's there. It's a beautiful addition to the car, and I think it really makes the back end pop. Now, Honda is going with a little bit of a change. Instead of the Honda logo, they're doing what they did on their electric SUV where they're spelling it out. Fun fact, if you need to open the trunk, it's under the N right there. And then you have right here in cursive that Prelude badge, that Prelude name. This is very nice. I'd be worried about parking this somewhere, you know, in public, because I feel like somebody might try to pull this off. That's a very beautiful name badge to have. You have the LED lights back here, your turn lights, but I believe Honda's using now a whole light bar design going across to really give it a wider stance and a wider look. And then down here you have, you know, it's glossy black, but it seems like it'll be okay. It doesn't seem like it's actually painted really nice. So definitely nice with the accents. You have your reflectors here, your mandated reflectors. And again, you have that blue line right there just to signal, hey, this is a hybrid, because they're not putting any hybrid badges on here. Instead, they're doing this down here. Now, if you do notice, no exhausts. no exhaust. It would be nice if they could have had exhaust, but again, being a hybrid system, I feel like exhausts are kind of an afterthought, right? Exhausts are usually a sign of a big, beefy engine, gasoline engine that's just so mechanical, so analog. And in this car, you don't really need it because it's getting a lot of that oomph from the direct drive system. And we're going to go over that when we show off the engine. But they hide them down here. Would be nice to have had some, but maybe not. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But they do tuck it away. It's a single exhaust, and it is under the bumper, away from view. So let's pop the trunk now and show it off. And yeah, I'll show you right here what it's like in the back. Okay, rear hatch time. So when you pop open this hatch, some people are a fan of this style, some don't. I like it. You get so much access in here, and even though it's a very tiny car, honestly, I think if you bought a 55-inch TV, pushed your seats up all the way, put down the front passenger and the rear 60 folding split, you might have a shot. Maybe a 46, maybe a 46-inch TV. Definitely a few bodies, no problem. You didn't hear that from me. You have a 15.1 cubic feet of storage space here in the back, and that's with the seats folded up. Not a lot, but hey, you're going golfing, it'll fit a pack of golf clubs. I don't know why we use golf clubs as measurements, but I guess at this price point, maybe you are somebody who can enjoy the finer things in life. With that said, back seats, no frills, manual, everything is pretty manual in this car. They're saving weight. I guess they're trying to save money. I don't know, but you're not going to have a lot of electronics that you're used to in some more modern cars. With that said, the experience really isn't back here. This is utilitarian. This is for you to bring your groceries. This is for you to carry maybe a child. Nothing crazy back here, but you know what? The storage is easy access, easy to get to, and yeah, I'm digging it. So now that we've seen this, let's go look at the engine. Okay, guys. There's an elephant in the room that we have to talk about here. MSRP on this is $42,000. For a modern sports car, with all the tech and features that this thing has, I would say that's a decent deal. Now the problem is, and honestly, I'm not even blaming the dealership for this. I feel like everyone is doing this. There has to be a root cause, a reason. MSRP $42,000. I've seen this thing go up to $75,000, $80,000 with dealer markups. This dealership's really not doing too much. Their added markup is $15,000. And then on top of that, you have a lot of these added options, the wing, the Prelude accessory package, Honda factory paint protection, clear shield package, plaid technology package, appearance shield from Cornerstone. All this adds up to an additional markup of $23,073. Now, why is this happening? Well, Honda has made a statement telling dealers, don't do this. Don't mark up the cars. You need to think long-term customer relationships and Honda recognition and brand naming, that trust, that loyalty. But a lot of dealerships, I feel like they realize these are limited runs and limited supply right now. If you got your hands on one as a dealership, it's going to go fast. I'm very lucky I'm even able to get this. So thank you to Culver City Honda for allowing me to review it. But the fact is, it's limited quantity. It's a high demand product. There's hype, there's insight, there's all these things going on with it. So just be aware that if you're looking for this car right now, you're not going to pay sticker. If you could pay sticker, that's probably the best deal you're ever going to get on a Prelude. Again, dealerships are doing this. The economy's a little wonky. Tariffs are throwing things into chaos, import fees and all that stuff. I'm not blaming dealerships as much as a lot of other people are. I kind of get it, but also I feel for the consumer. So I just wanted to touch on this. This sticker price after markup, $66,725. If you're looking for a Prelude, maybe right now you'd want to hold off. I don't know. They're not doing this on their other cars. You don't really see this too much on a Civic Si. You don't see this going on the CR-Vs, the hybrids and stuff like that. So if you're in the market for, a normal Honda, you're still going to get a deal here at Culver City Honda. But on the Prelude, it's a high demand item. And if you want it, you got to pay the price. You've been waiting patiently. Let's discuss the meat and potatoes. Let's discuss the engine here. You are looking at a 2-liter, 4-cylinder hybrid system. It has an eCVT. Kidding. I know you guys hate it when it's called an eCVT. Now, Honda calls it that, but it is not a CVT. There is no gears, there is no belts, there is no cones, there is nothing of the sort happening. This is Honda's direct drive hybrid system. Technically speaking, there is no transmission. You have 2 electric motors, one driving the wheels, one regenerating the battery, and the engine charges everything, or at higher speeds, I believe it just directly connects to the wheels and helps keep it going, which is why in the city, you're going to get 46 miles per gallon. Okay, it has some controversies, but the one thing you can't argue is that sweet, amazing gas mileage, especially in Los Angeles. The denser the traffic, the better your fuel economy. Since when has that been a true thing with cars? But in hybrids, that's what you get. On the highway, you're actually going to get 44 miles per gallon. Still not that bad. 0 to 60 in this, you're looking at about 8 seconds. Again, this is not a sports car in the sense of a true sports car. This is the Prelude. This is a base that Honda is going to sell that I'm sure enthusiasts are going to figure out how to soup up and make fast and make sleepers, because that's what the Honda modding community is about. If you know anything about Hondas, especially Civics, man, can you really make those things push the limits. I don't know what you can do on a hybrid system, but I'm sure 10, 15 years from now, we're going to see these things and you're going to have some turbos and everything, and I'm going to get annoyed because I'm going to be a lot older. But anyway, with the engine, it's got a 10.6 gallon tank. So even at California's higher gas prices, with the mileage that you get, it's not really going to cost that much to fill this thing up. The orange here represents hybrid wiring system. It means, hey, please don't touch these. These are carrying high voltage currents, so just be careful with that. And it's this Honda engine, this gas engine is really tried and tested. When you have a lot of other manufacturers out there using plastic components, Honda's using metal. Honda is leaving tons of space for workability, changing anything you need. So even though it's a more modern and more sophisticated system, it's still at the end of the day a Honda. And I'll tell you this, it's pretty peppy. When you have the CRV, the modes in there are more for hills and this and that. This has, I believe, Sport, GT. You can customize it, and there is one mode where you can actually have it emulate an 8-speed transmission shifting through those gears. So you can play sporty in this, you can feel sporty in this, and overall it's a great engine. Okay, now before I show you the interior, I want to go over a few things with you guys, and I want to give you some comparisons because I know it's on your mind. I asked you on Reddit, and these were some of the feedback questions I got. So first thing, what this is not is a Civic Hybrid. This is not a Civic Type R or an Integra Type S. Compared to the Civic Hybrid, you're talking less practical. It's more engaging, less rear seat, less rear cargo space. But the Prelude, it's more premium, sharper handling, okay? Now compared to a Civic Type R, Integra Type S, it's not trying to compete on performance. You're talking slower, it's less aggressive, it's quieter, it's more comfy, more fuel efficient. And what this is not a Miata, it's not a GR86. You're talking two different types of philosophy here, right? You're talking front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. This is quieter, not as sporty, but it's not trying to be those cars. It's trading raw performance for just higher refinement. It's balanced, and this is going to have better daily drivability. So I hope that helps in understanding what this is and what it's not. But I understand that you guys might want to know where it lies amongst those models. All right, guys, so here we are inside the Prelude. And I have to say, as somebody coming from, I have a 25 CRV Hybrid Sport L, pretty much almost top trim, not fully top trim, but it feels very familiar to me. if you've owned a Honda in the last few years, the last few generations, you're going to see the design elements carry over. So first I want to start with the door panels. You have this beautiful, pretty much all black. You have some soft touch plastic, you have some leather, you have some suede, you have some blue stitching that really accents everything. I mean, even the exposed metal parts of the door are just still very popping because it is that boost blue. So when you open this door, everything just works, everything just matches. You got a cup holder down there, a little tiny side storage. It's nothing to write home about, but the good news is that if you're a fan of audio, you have that 9-speaker, or is it 8.1 Bose system in here, and it's gonna kick, it's gonna punch. So if you like to cruise in a sports car with some banging music, you got it. Coming and working your way in, you have these nice, beautiful bucket seats with the Prelude stitching, the Prelude name embossed, embedded right into the headrest. Again, the beautiful stitching, that blue, follows along these accents right here. You have this, it's not suede, it kind of looks like that, but again, they have the Prelude name badge right there stitched in as well. Soft touch plastic over here. The honeycomb design is here, but it's not like a CRV where it goes all the way across. It's just there for the vents where the vents are present. You're going to have your infotainment screen, very nice. 9-inch screen. Now, I have the same thing, but this one has Google Maps built in, the entire Google suite. This has app support, remote start, tracking, all done through the Honda Link app. So it is a very connected car. Now, what I have in my car is a shifter, and granted, you know, maybe I'm an older generation. I don't ever want a car where I don't have a shifter, but that's my own personal preference. You do have your transmission controls down here, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you have your drive mode selector switch over here, and you have that S Plus sports mode. Big giant button, kind of like back in the day, Fast and Furious, you hit the NOS button, there you go. There's your S Plus sports mode. You have a wireless charger here. You have 2 USB ports, USB-C charging right here, one for data and one for just charging, along with a 12-volt cigarette lighter, if you will. You do have your physical, in today's, especially today's day and age, your physical controls for your HVAC. Overall, it's a nice modern interior. I'm really liking it. 2 cup holders here, very deep. You could fit probably those big Stanley cups. I don't think would have any problems here. You have this weird lobster claw little container down here. There is no connectivity in there, but you could probably fit, I don't know, a couple cheeseburgers or something. And I don't know. I'm not trying to take from that Rady guy, but his food comparisons work very nicely. So it's got some space in there. You can keep some identification cards. You can keep some wires in there, whatever you need. Now that we've seen this overall space, I want you to come over to the driver's side because I want to show you this really cool steering wheel, the digital gauges, and what the driver gets as a perk for driving this car. So let's take a look. All right, guys, so here we are inside the driver's cockpit of the 26 Prelude, and I just want to go over everything you get when you're the driver. When you're the king of the castle showing up in this steed, this is what it's going to look like when you're driving it. First off, Honda, to me, has always had really nice steering wheels, and this one is just no different. Beautifully stitched leather steering wheel, and you have just a nice separator, suede separator here. You have that beautiful blue stitching. Just, again, everything matchy here. You do got gloss black down here. No heated steering wheel button. You know, you're not getting everything in this car. There is no ventilated seats. I believe you have heated seats, but you don't have ventilated seats. You do have the nice matte black buttons on here, and just overall, this feels solid. I wouldn't ruin this experience by putting a steering wheel cover on it. Maybe, I know you want to preserve it, but I just wouldn't do that. You have your start-stop button here, and you have your paddle shifters here. Now, on a CRV, that is actually just choosing your regenerative braking mode, but here, if you put it in Sport Plus mode, you can actually emulate 8 speeds and shift up and down with this. So maybe that's why people want to call it a CVT, because it can emulate gears like a CVT can try to emulate gears, but there are no gears. I still would never call it that, but you can play around and have some fun with your nice aluminum paddle shifters here. You have a fully beautiful digital gauge here, and when you change your sport mode and you change your drive mode, it'll change out the gear clusters in there. Very nice, very well done. Here's the thing, on the seats here, like I said, when we were looking at the back, you don't have a lot of electronic anything. You don't have hood struts. You have a hood popper, a little piece of metal. You don't have electric assist in the back. And even as a driver, you're with the Bose Premium, everything else, there's no power seats. Everything is manual, and that includes the passenger, which makes sense on the passenger, but not, come on, Honda, give me that. And then, you know, for being a resurrected name that we all thought was dead, where's the special naming on here, Honda? Why, there's nothing. Plastic, dead pedal. Your aluminum pedals here are fine, but, you know, I guess it's more about the experience of driving it than actually what you get. Now, when that's said, it does feel a little bit more premium in here than a Civic that you would get, but, you know, you can get a Civic pretty nice now today. You can get a CR-V pretty nice now today. So it's sporty, it's comfort, it doesn't feel cheap, I'll give you that, it doesn't feel cheap, but there are just some basic things that you're missing in here. All right, guys, so real quick, I feel like I have to touch on it. The back seats, are they present? Do they exist? Yeah. Would I put any of my closest friends in this thing? Absolutely not. They're there, they exist, they are technically, by definition, rear seats. But honestly, I feel like the only time you're trying to fit some friends back there is in an emergency, or you feel like punishing them. Maybe a small child, that's about it. Now, I've lost a lot of weight over the last year, and I'm very proud of that fact, but mentally I'm still very fat in my head. And I am not going to try to squeeze what I perceive to be my fat butt into these back seats. So just take my word on it that they exist. Great for some storage, backpack, some groceries. I would not recommend long trips with any friends or family in that thing. If need be, again, they exist. They're yours if you buy the car. I can't tell you what to do. But this is a front seat experience, passenger and driver. So now that we've touched on the back seats, let's take it for a spin. All right, guys, so here we are driving the 2026 Prelude. And I have to say, my first thing is, I really wish I had a handle here. That would be amazing, because my hand just wants to fall, and I don't want to do that. Also, I'm driving very cautiously because there's just a lot of people around here in LA, and this is a $66,000 car. But so far, I can tell you, the steering's tight. Everything I've read about this thing really lines up pretty nicely. We're gonna get out here in a minute. I'll try to give it some gas. The visibility out the back, it's a little small because of that sloping line. It's kind of like you have a certain space and that's it. You're not gonna really be able to see those blind spots through the back windshield unless you're looking out on the side or turning your head. So just make sure that if you get this car, that you are taking that into consideration. And if you're not, you will notice it pretty quickly. Oh, that's cool. So it shows you in the gauge when you have your turn signal on, it actually shows you a little car icon, and it shows you the actual light flashing there. So a little cool thing right there. I can tell you this though, being the hybrid system, it's quiet, as are most of Honda's hybrid technology cars. Very, very stable when you're driving this thing. I'm so used to being in an SUV that being this low to the ground is just not something I'm used to. So I have to pump myself up here with these manual seats. You know, $66,000, but you do not get power seats. All right, ready? Let's see what the gas is like. Oh, wow. Okay. You know what? I was a little bit worried. Being the hybrid drivetrain, already that direct drive is pretty fast, even on a CR-V. it's surprisingly fast. I have no issues merging into traffic, and that's because there's no transmission, there's no gears going on with it. But this thing is tuned to be a whole different beast. You hit the gas, it's got pep. 200 horsepower, 232 foot-pounds of torque. Those numbers may not sound like a lot, but remember, those numbers you'll find on things like a Rogue or, you know, a CX-3, CX-5, something like that. But when you put that in a tiny little body like this, it's way, way more efficient when it comes to the speed. You hit the gas on this thing and it just leaps, and the engine wakes up. So the hybrid system's there, it's great, it's quiet. If you drive this like a hybrid, you will get hybrid performance. You'll feel like you're in a little Prius or something, but when you drive it like a sports car, it's gonna wake up like that and it's gonna take off. And you're really, oh, there it is. And when you have those GT modes, you can tune all the different aspects of it. If you put it into individual mode, this is definitely, I'd say, worth the hype. Absolutely worth the hype. Is it worth the markup? That's a whole different ballgame. That's a different question to ask yourself. But right now, driving this thing, whoo-hoo, makes me feel 20 again. I am absolutely loving this right now. Okay, ready? We got a nice little straightaway. I'm not gonna break the law, but let's see how it goes from a stop. Okay, here we go. And whoa, okay, it's not a quick 0 to 60, and I'm not even trying to get up to 60, but that was decent. That was decent. That wasn't GR86, that wasn't Miata performance, but that was very nice. Absolutely very nice. So we need to get this thing back to the dealership. I am having a blast in this car. Overall, I'm gonna say, performance-wise, it's there. It's a quick little zippy car. It kind of reminds me of back when I used to own a little Volkswagen and how nice and zippy it was. I wouldn't call this thing a crazy sports car. You're not buying this for the speed. You're buying it for that balance, like I told you earlier. It has speed, it has reliability, it has comfort, it's premium. You're getting something that's gonna turn eyes more than any Civic is ever gonna do, SI or hybrid or anything like that. And it's gonna be talked about for a decent while. So this is definitely a daily driver, great visibility. Decent visibility out the back, I wouldn't say it's the best. With the Honda technology package in here and the Google Maps, I think you're getting a pretty decent package. I think you're getting something that's reliable. Is it worth the $66,000 with that markup? I don't know. Is it worth it at MSRP of $43,000? Yes. Yes, it is. Honda priced it out very well. They know what they're doing. If you can ever find it for that, I would say go for it. So let's get back onto the street and I'll give you my full summary of this car. What is the final verdict on the Prelude? All right, here I am, a nameplate, resurrected from the dead after 25 years of being dormant. New car, new name. Did I answer those questions? Well, from what I know back in the day, the Prelude was fun. It was zippy, it was fast, and you can mod it. And that is what kept that name up so big with the Honda community. I think this has real potential to be the Prelude that it once was. What have they missed? Well, honestly, I feel like that's more of a dealer thing than anything. I mean, honestly, the markups are not pleasing anyone whatsoever. Why pay more than what the manufacturer's telling you? But supply and demand work that way. So we'll see where that takes these numbers based on dealership markups. And three, you know, is it worth the hype? I'd say yes. Yeah, it's worth the hype. This is fun. This is fun. And if you're in a position where you're trying to treat yourself, now obviously this isn't going to be a daily driver in the sense of you got a family, you got kids. But either you're a single guy and that's all you need, it's great. Or it's a secondary car for the weekend when the kids are at the grandparents' house and you just want to let loose. So overall, I'd say this car has been fantastic. I love it. And I just, again, want to give a shout out to Culver City Honda for letting me borrow this car and play around with it and have the blast that I had in it. So until next time, this is Deansy signing off. And as always, whatever you buy, don't blame me for your problems. Until next time. Later.
After 25 years, the Prelude nameplate returns, and Honda clearly has big ambitions bringing it back. The 2026 Prelude blends a modern hybrid drivetrain, impressive fuel economy, and a genuine peppy performance into a sleek, forward-looking package. It feels confident, efficient, and surprisingly fun to drive. And once you spend time with it, it becomes clear this car is not trying to chase the same formula you'll find in Mazda or Toyota. Instead, the Prelude finds its own space, mixing practicality, sport, and efficiency. Dealer markups could hurt this comeback, and at $43,000, Honda should really include basics like power seats, a sunroof, and a heated steering wheel. Still, the driving experience is the real payoff, and if pricing stays reasonable and even bounces back, Honda could have a winner. After years of waiting and tons of speculation, it is now in the hands of Honda's fervent and loyal fanbase to decide if this comeback truly reigns supreme. Time will tell, but for now, if you get a chance to drive it, take the long way to your destination and let the car do all the talking. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.